Hi, this is Amy McDougall, and we're doing our monthly diabetes education class with a video. Since we are not meeting in person or in groups, and we're trying to keep those people who are affected with diabetes at home where they're safer. So, first part of our diabetes class is always what's new? What's new in the literature, and what interesting things might have come out with studies. So, first of all, is they talked about working out, and a lot of people like to load up before they work out, give themselves some calories or some carbs. What they found in the study was that actually loading before you work out with calories decreased the amount of fat burned in the workout, but it also decreased insulin sensitivity. And we want to get that insulin sensitivity as high as we can. What we're fighting when we have diabetes is insulin resistance. So we want to increase that insulin sensitivity through that workout. So maybe change if you have been loading up before you go on a walk or go do your swimming workout or whatever. Stop doing that. If you need a small amount to make sure that you don't go low blood sugar, that's fine, but just watch the amount of carbs that you're consuming before that workout. Second interesting study that we found is with sleep. Some people feel like they wake up and they're just not rested. Well, this study is interesting because it does show that people who are more active, they took people and had them start walking, and they did that for a month, where they were walking about 3 miles a day, and they found that those people reported much better sleep than those who were not walking. So even a small amount of walking or exercising can improve sleep, and it can also improve a lot of other things, including decreasing anxiety and depression. So that's definitely something that's going to be helpful. So please get out and walk. So our subject for today is sick days. Having a sick day plan. It's really important to have a sick day plan in place before you get sick, because a lot of times when you get sick, it might be on the weekend, the pharmacies might be closed, you might be too tired or too sick to actually travel and get what you need, or you may not have a ride. Some people don't have a ride. So it's important to have a sick day plan in place, and have some products available that you might need in case you get sick. So we're going to talk about some different circumstances that you may present with, and what your options might be, and some things to think about with each one. So first of all is fever. When I ask people what they're going to do for a fever, most people just say, oh, I take Tylenol or I'll take ibuprofen. First of all, fever is a good thing. It's your body increasing the temperature so that it can kill more germs. So I typically don't recommend treating a fever unless it's high. If it's over 101 or 102, then you definitely need to get that temperature down. But those low-grade fevers up to 101 degrees, not a big deal. Let the fever run. You only need to take a fever-reducing medication if you are miserable. If you're in a lot of pain or you just don't feel good, and you can't rest, then it would be a good time to take a fever reducer. But other things to think about when you have a fever is make sure that you're hydrating. A lot of times you're losing water. You're using a lot of water when you have a fever. So make sure that you stay hydrated with that fever. Also, don't forget that if you feel very uncomfortable and hot and you can't seem to get that down, that ice packs and cool cloths do help reduce temperature. So don't be scared to do that. You can also immerse your feet in an ice bath or something like that, and that'll help bring that temperature down. So there's some other methods to get the temperature down too. Next thing we want to talk about is colds and flus, like the cold and the influenza. First of all, remember, just like the other, make sure that you're not getting dehydrated, that you're drinking plenty of water, and that you're feeding yourself some healthy food. Don't forget to eat because you're sick. A lot of times when you are sick, you will notice that you have a decreased appetite, but you do need to maintain some nutrition just to give your body the nutrients you need to fight that germ. Second of all, we want to think about what nutrients your body might do better with. They have shown in studies that zinc, like zinc lozenges, can help decrease the severity and duration of that cold or flu, and those are usually safe in diabetes. If you do have kidney problems, though, you'll want to check and make sure that would be okay. Sometimes it's not okay to take zinc if your kidney failure is too much. Also, the other thing is vitamin C. That extra vitamin C does help you feel better. It just helps your body to recover as it's fighting that germ, gives you a little better chance to get over it. So don't be scared to take a little extra vitamin C at the onset if you start to feel yourself get sick. Other than that, let's talk about symptom control. Just remember, any time that you are sick, your blood sugar is going to be higher. Don't be alarmed by that, but be careful. You know, if your blood sugar is over 250, you're going to want to try to bring that blood sugar down. So if it's over 250 and you're on insulin, you can take a few extra units to try to help bring that blood sugar down. But don't be alarmed by a number that's higher than normal, because it is your body trying to put some sugar out there so it has the fuel it needs to try to kill germs. So don't be alarmed by that number. The other thing is that we want to try to treat symptoms and keep you feeling well enough that you can rest so that your body can recover. So the symptoms would be a lot of times congestion. With congestion, you want to take something that's a little safer. If you do have high blood pressure and you have congestion, you would want to use a product like Mucinex, which the generic is guaifenesin. There is a generic Mucinex out there that's not so crazy expensive. There's also a product called Coricidin HBP that is specifically for congestion when you have high blood pressure. That's what the HBP stands for, and it just can help you to get that congestion under control without affecting that blood pressure. But also with that congestion, don't forget the value of having a good humidifier running in the house, using things like Vicks Vapor Rub, eucalyptus oil, essential oil can also be very helpful topically to help with that congestion. Also a saline nasal spray, super inexpensive, cheap thing that you can have around that can kind of help decrease congestion. So great items there to have around in case of congestion. What about a cough? What do you do for a cough? Let's think about, first of all, humidifiers, like we talked about with the other. You can use Mucinex. The generic name is guaifenesin. That's with a G-U-I-F, okay? And those are great products that are not going to interfere with the disease at all, not going to be a problem with kidneys. And that just helps move those secretions out. But you need to remember that with that cough, you need to get plenty of fluids. You want your body to be able to cough out any bacteria or germs and sputum. You want to get all that stuff out so that your lungs and your bronchi can heal. And so it's really going to help to drink plenty of fluids when you have a cough. So remember, that's one of the most important treatment points. Something else that's really good is dextromethorphan. That's what's in like Robitussin DM. The DM stands for dextromethorphan. That is a cough suppressant. That's something that you could take at night just to help you sleep. During the day, you don't really need to suppress that cough because you do want to try to help move those secretions out. So it's really good to take the guaifenesin, drink lots of fluids, have a humidifier running, and that'll help get those secretions out so that your body can recover. Next thing I want to talk about is thinking about intestinal problems. You know, there's a lot of times that you can get a little bug or sometimes a little bit of food poisoning. And think about how that can affect your blood sugar. If you do have some food poisoning, you've been vomiting a lot or having a lot of diarrhea, your blood sugar is not going to be maintained, especially if you're taking insulin. Okay, so as you know, if you're experiencing a lot of vomiting or diarrhea, or maybe even just nausea and you're just not eating very much, it might be a good idea to hold your next insulin dose and watch your blood sugar. Monitor that every 30 minutes to an hour just to make sure that you're not going to go too low. Okay, remember the low signs of low blood sugar: sweatiness, shakiness, irritability, not being able to think very well. Those are signs of low blood sugar. So if you start to experience those, for sure, check that blood sugar, and maybe you might have to try to force a little bit of orange juice or something down. But you just want to try to hold things that are going to cause that blood sugar to go too low. So don't take your insulin, don't take drugs like metformin or glyburide or glipizide, okay? So hold those types of drugs that are going to bring your blood sugar down if you are experiencing nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, so that you don't bring that blood sugar too low. The other thing is, what should you treat it with? How do you treat that? If you do have diarrhea, it's a good idea to have something like Pedialyte, or you can use Gatorade. Gatorade, does have a lot of sugar in it, so be aware of that. But just something to kind of keep yourself hydrated. If you're at home and you don't have anything else, you can put a little tiny pinch of salt, not very much, and a little bit of water just to help you get through, so that you don't dehydrate too much. Other things with treatment, a lot of people, if they get a little bit of diarrhea, they slap on the Imodium or the loperamide really quickly. And a lot of times, if that's a germ, you want to get rid of that, you want to flush it out. So I really only recommend using that Imodium or loperamide enough for you to enable you to get to the bathroom and not have an accident. Otherwise, let that run its course so that you can get rid of that, the toxin or the bacteria, virus, whatever is causing that, and that diarrhea. With vomiting, you can use a lot of different products. There's products like the generic Emetrol that can help with that. Pepto-Bismol can be very helpful, just to help calm that stomach. And there's also several prescription products, but it's okay to let that run its course. And a lot of times it's more helpful to drink Gatorade rather than straight water, Gatorade or Pedialyte rather than straight water with that nausea, because it helps minimize chances that you're going to throw it up. I hope this was helpful. I really hope that you kind of took some notes, and that you're going to have some stuff on hand in case you do get sick. It's a great idea to write down what your sick day plan is, what your plan is for each situation, so that you kind of know beforehand what you're going to do. Sick day plans are really helpful in diabetes. Usually our third section of the class is to do a meditation or a mindfulness breathing. So I'd love for you to take a few minutes on your own and do some breathing exercises. Make sure that you're doing those big, deep belly breaths, and I look forward to seeing you all in the future. Thank you. Bye.